What is going on, guys? It's Sean O'Connell, the managing director here at CinemaBlend, and we are continuing our binge through the very first season of Big Little Lies. We are 3 episodes into the season, 7 episodes total. This new one is called Living the Dream. Now, of course, we have some major questions that still need answered by this show, primarily who's the victim of the murder that was introduced in the opening episode of the season, and who are the chief suspects. And again, I don't think we're going to get the answer to who are the suspects until we figure out who the victim of the murder is. But as we're starting to see several people on the fringe of the school community being interrogated, and we're learning more about each of the different characters who are involved in Big Little Lies, we're starting to piece together that it might not just be the murder. There are some other charges that are potentially going to be leveled at the people who are responsible for this. So we're getting deeper and deeper into the mystery. And I think we're about to get to the point where Reese Witherspoon's character is seriously going to start messing with Laura Dern's character. And what we saw in episode 2 is that Madeline is really getting under Renata's skin, because Laura Dern had a sweet little viral meme meltdown where she turned and screamed at her best friend, or one of her close friends, and I think that everything's starting to unravel. So the thing I love about this 7-episode season is that the drama should significantly heighten as we progress from episode to episode. There's going to be a lot of stuff to process, so I'm going to go ahead and press play on episode 3 of the first season. Again, it's called Living the Dream. While I'm doing that, go down, hit subscribe, turn on your notifications. I do love this theme song. It's haunting.
Mom! He's not coming?
Well, Shirley wants to, sweetheart. And it so happens that your party is on the same exact day as Disney on Ice.
But if Chloe doesn't come, then is everybody else coming?
Almost everybody. It's gonna be an incredible party. Come here. Come. Oof.
Maybe if your name wasn't Amabel.
There's gonna be a bouncy, a magician, princesses, Spider-Man for the boys. It's gonna be the best birthday party ever.
Spider-Man's gonna be there?
It was a mistake to not invite Ziggy Chapman. I want to kill her.
Ziggy's also a little creepy.
Are we going to some kid's birthday party tomorrow? And I'm not invited to this Disney thing?
Oh, come on, dude.
Come on. I don't want to go to that. You hate those things.
You don't think I want to spend some time with my family after being gone all week?
Oh, he is so
Why didn't
insecure.
we discuss this? Look at me then. Look at me. Huh?
Oh, you're hurting me.
Oh, I'm hurting you.
I will leave you. You touch me like that again and I will fucking leave you.
The injuries were many, and they were severe. We are talking multiple broken bones.
Madeline, it's Renata.
What's up?
Well, had a little bit of a long night of the soul last night. And, well, I think you were right.
I see.
It was wrong of me to exclude Ziggy Chapman from the party. It just was. And, well, I'd like to invite him after all. And of course, have Chloe there. It would be so great. Amabella's so fond of her, as you know.
But tomorrow, there's a bunch of us that are all driving to San Jose for Disney on Ice.
Oh, well, I thought...
Well, maybe we could swing by afterwards. How late will the party be going until?
3 o'clock?
No, we won't be back by then.
After I arrange a great sleepover weekend trip to Disneyland. All expense paid, VIP passes, the works, backstage passes to Frozen.
Yeah, it's not gonna work.
Rather go to the party than the stupid show.
You're dead in this town. As is your fucking puppet show.
Madeline was desperate for the trip to be better than the party.
Oh, I'm so disappointed in that Spider-Man.
Fuck up.
Sorry, is it okay if I call you Madeline?
As opposed to what, Arthur?
She can handle it.
Handle what?
Sometimes I feel like you're grooming me to get to a place you, couldn't. I think, it would just be best if I could live with Dad for a while.
Oh, boy. Oh. Gifts? Oh, what are you falling for it? Stop it. He was choking you around the same neck.
Gonna get better.
I just think maybe things can just get a bit volatile.
Volatile how?
We fight a lot, and we say things, we yell, we scream, and we just have a lot of anger.
Are we talking about a physical expression of anger?
Yes, very much so.
No.
Yes. Say yes.
Verbal.
Hey, chokes me.
It's not quite true. After we fight, we very often make love. Well, there's a line between passion and rage, and sometimes maybe we cross that. I think I'm afraid of losing her.
Okay. Why do you think that?
From the very beginning, like when we first met, I've always worried that she would just go through me, you know, like that.
What do you mean by that? By go through you?
Look how good Kidman is in this.
That she would outgrow me, maybe, or figure me out. I think I'm constantly looking for evidence that.
Evidence that she doesn't love you anymore.
You honestly think I don't love you?
A couple of days ago, you said that you would leave me.
What occasioned that?
Huh. Well.
I grabbed her by the shoulders. Pretty hard.
Has this ever happened before?
Yes, lots.
Sometimes I lash out.
Great scene.
You, Celeste?
What about me?
Do you ever lash out?
Yeah, when it gets physical, I fight back. I do.
And how does that feel when this happens?
Not good. I don't feel good about it.
Can you be more specific?
I think I feel ashamed.
Now, given the unprecedented success of last year's trivia night with the theme Dead Celebrities, we've decided to come back again with yet another costume gala this year titled Elvis and Audrey Night.
I think he wants to fight me.
Don't be ridiculous. Ed doesn't fight.
Ed doesn't fight. I wonder if that's a tease. I wonder if that's misdirection. That it's Ed who's going to get pushed to violence. God, there's so many places that this could go.
What about my father?
Ooh.
We
need to put him in here.
You don't have a dad, sweetie, so it's okay. We'll use Grandma and Grandpa and me and great Uncle Jimmy.
I still have to write my dad's name on the board. What is his name? Just write it down.
I don't know. You know that. I've told you the story so many times. You know he would have loved you, but...
What is his name, for Christ's sake?
Oh,
Go
Ziggy.
to your room. That is not okay.
Ooh, see, I'm telling you there's something wrong with this kid. This kid has anger issues. I think he really did choke that girl.
He told me that his name was Saxon Banks, like Mr. Banks, the dad in Mary Poppins. But I Googled him afterwards, and we met in a bar. He was funny and sexy. We were both pleasantly drunk. We got a hotel room that overlooked the ocean. It was beautiful and romantic.
Oh, that little stumble.
And then he changed.
What do you mean he changed?
He became extremely aggressive. He was way bigger than I was. I eventually just stopped resisting because I was actually afraid that he would kill me. He finished, got up, and said goodbye. I said bye. That was it.
My God.
And he gave me my Ziggy, so
Have you talked to anybody about this? Like a therapist or a counselor or someone?
The first person I've ever told.
Oh, honey.
But I know that I have to keep moving forward. You know, that kid he's gonna have a good life. But the name of his father is not going on that fucking poster board.
I don't blame you. Not in the least bit, girl. Who is this? Oh my gosh, what? Oh gosh.
We still don't know the truth about Jane. I'm just saying.
Whew.
Madeline had anger issues. Itty bitty ball of rage. Want to see her rage issues? Call her itty bitty.
Renata had the whole kind of sexy praying man's bite your head off after sex thing going.
Oh yeah, that Bonnie's just the sweetest thing. Yeah, right.
Celeste, she is a accomplished attorney, and some people in this town resent that.
Rich, beautiful, madly in love. Something had to be wrong.
I'm happy because the first time in a long time I'm hopeful. For us.
All right, let's process a lot of what we learned in episode 3. Living the dream, and on the surface level, they all kind of are, aren't they, right? But, like, one of the things that's emphasized towards the end of this episode is that all 5 of these women are fascinatingly flawed for various reasons. They've all got something going on that's preventing them from being complete. And we found out a couple of the reasons over the course of this episode. And I'll start with Celeste and her relationship with Perry, which is fascinating. And that counseling scene was fantastic from both Kidman's perspective and Skarsgård's perspective. They were both great. But if you watch Kidman in that scene, how much she was sort of incredulous, like moderately, not over the top, not chewing the scenery, but just like incredulous that her husband would be feeling all these ways about her. But yet they have this relationship that's rooted in violence, and this physical violence towards each other. And there's 2 other examples that we see in the women in this show and their husbands that are aggressive men and then aggressive physical sex that comes from this. And so it's kind of a running theme that goes through it, whether it be Renata and her husband trying to connect, through spontaneity, as they say, or of course now the story of where Ziggy comes from. And I don't think we heard the true story. I think Jane is hiding some details, but essentially it's a one-night stand from a guy who was incredibly aggressive with her and then took off. But you pay attention to those beach scenes and her dress and how tattered it was, and she's following the footsteps of this heavy shoe going through the wet sand, and it stops at a particular point, and then she looks off into the ocean and has a horrified look on her face, and of course the episode ends with her sort of walking out into the ocean. So there's more to that than what we know. You go over to Madeline and her battle with Renata, which is growing deeper. We hear someone say for the first time out loud when Renata says, I want to kill her, talking about Madeline. And it's, it's for a stupid reason. It's a funny reason. It's like competitive parties, right? Like Madeline's pissed that Ziggy didn't get invited, so she books this whole Disney on Ice thing as a way to get back at Renata. And Renata's furious that the party's not going to be everything that she wants Amabel, worst name in the world. It's not going to be everything that Amabel wants it to be. And of course the party's outstanding, right? The party's like would be ridiculous to compete against, and it's not enough, right? Like that Renata's not happy with it. So there was something that was mentioned and it went away, is Harry the Hippo. Like what did they lose Harry the Hippo on the trip, and did nobody go get it? Like I want to know what happened to it, because that seems like something that's going to play off in future episodes. Maybe the fact that Ziggy is going to get blamed. Now, I've been saying throughout the course of this episode, and I don't want to throw Ziggy, the little boy, under the bus, but there's something wrong with that kid. And yes, he gets upset that he doesn't necessarily know the identity of his real father, and he feels that his mom is essentially hiding details, and she is. There's stuff that she doesn't want to discuss with that, but he's got this physical manifestation. It's almost like it's a circular thing, right? Like it's the men in that town, whether they're tiny boys or adults who should know better, have a propensity to get violent and frustrated when things don't necessarily go the way they want them to go. And I don't know if it's a cycle of violence that's just sort of perpetuating itself, or what the commentary is that the show is trying to slip in about the Malibu community. We find out a little bit more detail about the fundraiser evening where the murder takes place. It's an Elvis Presley, Audrey Hepburn theme, and I think that ties back to the opening credits then, in that spectacular line that opens the every episode, which each of the A-list actresses walking toward the camera. Like, now that I think about it, as they're all sort of turning, they're Audrey Hepburn-esque. They're dressed in an Audrey Hepburn type way. And now that I know that she is the point of the fundraising gala, I definitely want to pay attention to that opening credits as it continues, because I think that that's an important thing that they're showing us. And then, the other big foot drop that happened in this one is Madeline's daughter, Abigail, wanting to leave and go live with Bonnie and her father, whose name escapes me. And that's, Madeline's not a sympathetic character, but that shot of her sitting in her daughter's empty bedroom and realizing that, as much as she thinks that she's doing things for other people, I think ultimately she always thinks that she's doing stuff for other people. She has a hole inside of herself that she's never going to be able to actually fill. And whether it's through her community service at the theater and fighting for Avenue Q, or trying to help Jane get acclimated into a new town, all of these things that she tries to do doesn't necessarily fill this void that she has inside of her. Again, fascinatingly flawed characters. This show has presented 5 unbelievably interesting female characters, and the men that surround them also are very interesting in support, but it's laser focused on the 5 women in the show, and I think that they're all fantastic, and I want to know all of their stories. That's one of the best parts about Big Little Lies too, is that no matter whose story that you're in, it's really interesting. I mean, it could be Shailene at the t-ball range with her son, and how excited she gets that he's hitting a home run and doing things that normal kids would do. And then, of course, she's concerned that he's not reacting positively enough to it. Great, little subplot. Whether you're with Laura Dern, whether you're with Nicole Kidman or Reese Witherspoon, every sort of subplot is interesting enough because they're all feeding into the bigger narrative, but they're all interesting in their own little tiny subplots and the things that are developing. So far, anyway, this is 3 episodes through it. We have 4 more to go over the course of this season. This episode, again, filled in more details about the characters without necessarily getting to the heart of the mystery, and so far that's been okay. You can take a couple episodes to really fill in who these people are, but I think as we get closer towards this season finale, and again, 4 more episodes to go, so that's a lot, I think we have to start developing a little bit more of what the mystery is now that we know a lot more about who the characters are, who the people are involved in. So we will be back very quickly with episode 4 of Season 1 of Big Little Lies, and we're working our way, obviously, to the opening of Season 2. We're going to get all of them finished in time before Season 2 starts. While you're down in those comments giving us other suggestions and letting us know how you think this is going so far, do me a favor, hit subscribe, turn on your notifications. Every time we post a new video like this on CinemaBlend's YouTube page, you guys will be alerted to it.